North Korea celebrates the 90th anniversary of the founding of its military on this Monday, April 25th, amid speculations of a military parade and even another nuclear or missile test in the near future. For more on these prospects, I have Professor JUNG Kim from the University of North Korean Studies. Welcome to the studio, Professor Kim.
Thank you for having me.
I also have Professor Kim Young-jun at the Korea National Defense University, who is currently joining this session from New Delhi, India. Professor Kim Young-jun, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you. Hello from India.
Right. We'll start here in the studio then. Professor JUNG Kim, let's begin with a few words on the meaning of this particular day and how does it differ from the February 8th holiday?
So today is the 19th anniversary of the establishment of Korean People's Revolutionary Army, which was created by Kim Il-sung in 1932 as the anti-Japanese guerrilla troops. And the February 8th is the commemorating day for the establishment of Korean People's Army, which is the regular army of North Korea.
Right, I see. Professor Kim Young-jun, shows of strength have been common to mark important holidays in North Korea, with military parades putting on display new weapons. Do you expect a similar spectacle this year? And what would be the implications amid current concerns over Pyongyang's rampant acts of provocation?
Yes, I expect the similar spectacular in military parade. Why not? Because now is the U.S.-China strategic competition is very high, and Russia-Ukraine war is still going on, and China-Russia-North Korea belt is very effective to the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. And also he sent a love letter to the President Moon, but the warning to the President Yoon as well. So he now is decide to invest his nuclear missile capability for the next 5 years under the Yoon administration. So now it's not surprising if you see a spectacular military parade in this time.
Right, so that would be later on this Monday then. Professor JUNG Kim, contrary to widespread speculations or expectations, that is, on the birthday of North Korea's founding father on April 15th, the event then did not have a military parade. It was a largely civilian affair with synchronized dancing and flamboyant fireworks. Now, some pundits claim that this was a calculated move. What are your thoughts?
That's correct. It's always the North Korean move for the some escalation as well as de-escalation is some calculated and strategic the decision here. So basically in North Korea, the military parade is a symbol of strength as well as somehow the prosperity for the people as well as for the international audience. So in that sense, they will choose a day which will be the most effective as well as the efficient to symbolize the strength of North Korea, not only for the domestic audience, but also international audience.
And that would be today then?
I think so.
Right. Professor Kim Young-jun, on the eve of April 15th, Kim Jong-un promoted 6 commanding officers to general, including one who had been demoted last year. What may be the intentions behind these promotions?
Yes, promotion means a lot, especially promotion of 6 commanding officers, including the former Defense Minister Kim Jong-un. His message is very clear. Kim Jong-un wants to focus on strong self-defense weapon development for a while against the future potential U.S.-ROC Japan security cooperation under the Yoon administration. So promotion of this guy, even though Kim Jong-un is still focused on economic policy and North Korean people's well-being, but this means he wants to also focus on this self-defense development.
Right. And Professor JUNG Kim, there is strong belief, as I mentioned earlier, that North Korea will conduct a nuclear test this year. Do you agree?
Definitely. So basically, the North Korea now has, first of all, the political demand for the new nuclear test, especially in order to attract the attention of the United States, the Biden administration, as well as they have also some technical demand for, say, the upgrading, especially the so-called tactical nuclear weapons. So technically as well as politically, the nuclear test will be coming soon, I think.
Right. And Professor Kim Young-jun, speaking within your capacity as a scholar, what response measures do you believe would be appropriate from South Korea and its international allies in the wake of a nuclear test by North Korea?
Everybody does want nuclear tests, and everybody want denuclearization if North Korea decide giving up their nuclear capacity. But unfortunately, now the situation is not very good. U.S.-China strategic competition and potential Taiwan conflict is going on, and Russian-U.S. conflict is still going on. Under this situation, Kim Jong-un clearly knows China, Russia will not join U.S. lead UN sanction. So Kim Jong-un know about this. Kim Jong-un want to use this opportunity for the next 5 years. So we need to prepare for that. And this nation have to focus on block U.S., Japan possible security cooperation against this.
Right. Professor Kim Young-jun, staying with that same question then, the incoming Yoon administration has spoken of taking a hard-line stance against North Korea in the case of provocation. Do you suppose this policy would be effective in dealing with cross-border ties?
Yeah, unfortunately, until now, administration policy is similar what the Lee Myung-bak government and Park Geun-hye government. There's no something new from the Yoon administration, and their people, key foreign policy team, including Kim Sung-han and Kim Tae-yo, is all Lee Myung-bak administration guy. So now it's Kim Jong-un attitude will be continue and clear, and love letter to the President Moon, who support the inter-Korean relation, but warning sign to the Yoon administration, who more focus on ROK, US, and Japan security cooperation.
Right. Professor Chung Kim, as Professor Kim Young-jun has mentioned, late last week we covered news about an unexpected gesture of goodwill between the two Koreas in the form of letters between the North Korean leader and South Korea's President Moon Jae-in. Now, Kim Jong-un acknowledged Moon Jae-in's efforts to advance cross-border ties. How do you interpret this olive branch of sorts?
So North Korea always have two wings to manipulate the South Korean public opinion as well as the political elites. The first one is obviously the military escalation strategy. And then second one is the charm offensive, like this kind of the exchange of the letter between the two presidents here. So I think this is more like as the so-called blame avoidance if the new administration of South Korea try to settle the higher bar to resume the inter-Korean dialogue, then basically the responsibility is on the shoulder of the President Yoon, not the President Kim Jong-un here. That's the main purpose here. So I don't think that's the candid goodwill posture towards South Korea.
Right. Professor Kim Young-jun, extracts from Kim's response to President Moon's letter were shared by North Korea's state media, which added that the exchange was an expression of deep trust. Now, some observers say that these words by Pyongyang come as a pretext to blame the incoming Yoon administration for any escalation cross-border standoff. Do you agree?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Kim Jong-un is also a personal leader, and he clearly sent his love letter to the President Moon Jae-in, hope to have a good relation for the future. Maybe, who knows, the President Moon Jae-in will be Jimmy Carter. But in the meantime, Kim Jong-un clearly the warning sign to the future President the Yoon Suk-yeol, because of Yoon Suk-yeol administration message is somewhat very similar to the former government of Lee Myung-bak and Park Geun-hye. So Kim Jong-un now is a dual message to the two leaders. So different policy will lead to different outcome according to Kim Jong-un's message.
Right. Professor Jung Kim, Unification Minister nominee Kwon Young-se claimed that the exchange of letters was a good thing, but that, but he previously did say that it would be difficult to normalize cross-border ties amid Pyongyang's nuclear ambitions. Now, how do you envision the fate of inter-Korean ties under the incoming Yoon administration?
So at least in the earlier phase of the new administration of South Korea, I don't think there's any good, say, prospect for the reconciliation between two Koreas, because North Korea want to discipline this new administration that has declared some strategic clearance for the North Korea, and possibly the North Korea has to show their resolve and willingness to make some confrontation if necessary. So, and the South Korean new government will have to show there's some resolve as well. So, for meantime, there's some less likely to have new round of inter-Korean dialogue, at least within this year.
Right, unfortunately then. Professor Kim Young-jun, Foreign Minister nominee Park Jin has called for practical changes to North Korea policies. What changes do you suppose is he referring to?
The Foreign Minister Park Jin is a much experienced foreign policy guy, as everybody agree with that. The problem is there's no new idea from his foreign policy team. He focused on the removal of the Korean Peninsula peace process, the Moon Jae-in administration, which has tried to over the 3 years. And his belief is about the sanction, and North Korea surrender to give up their nuclear weapons. This is a very old style and again a policy from the Lee Myung-bak and Park Geun-hye government. That's why Kim Jong-un now has no hope for a future inter-Korean relation talk, and I think as Foreign Minister Park Jin more focused on the ROC U.S.-Japan security cooperation against North Korea possible provocation.
So, Professor Kim Young-jun, as you said, this idea of sanction to surrender nuclear ambitions may not be very feasible. What are your recommendations then? I understand it's a difficult question, though.
Yeah, that is a very difficult question for the Professor Kim Jong and for me as well. We have tried every possible option over the 2 decades, but at the same time, we need to also against the North Korean possible provocation. So we need to have a close talk with the U.S. and China is a very strong, the unstable character in this region, and North Korea want to be independent from Chinese colonialization of North Korean economy. So we need to find some common objective between North Korea, South Korea, and the U.S. for the future.
Right, we do. And keeping in mind what Professor Kim Young-jun has just said, Professor Jung Kim, what are your thoughts on the policy of carrots and sticks, where with the incoming Yoon administration, they're thinking of having more sticks than carrots? What are your thoughts on that?
So for the new administration of South Korea, they think some sort of the engagement policy proved somehow miserable failure. So building on that kind of past experience, they have to think about more, say, practical as well as optimal policy toward North Korea. But in terms of policy mixture, they have to empathize the, say, more containment policy and less the engagement policy. So that kind of some unbalanced policy mixture has to be implemented at least earlier phase of the new administration in order to say at least some sort of the as a policy implementation and experiment. So if possible, I suggest say it's okay to have the both stick and carrot, but any kind of North Korea policy must be realistic. So should not escalate too much, but at the same time show some toughness to some sort of the provocation of North Korea. Both some balanced policy implementation would be better than any some secured policy.
Right. Professor Jung Kim, North Korea's news presenter Ri Chun-hee was given a brand new home by North Korean leader Kim Jong-un for her alleged loyalty. And pictures of Kim giving Ri a tour of a brand new home made headlines in mid-April. What are your thoughts on these seemingly innocuous acts of kindness, if I may?
So, as I said, every movement of especially the supreme leader of Kim Jong-un is strategic. So that kind of some gift giving have some meaning first for the inner circle of the political elites of North Korea, that this is the reward for the loyalty for the Kim Jong-un as well as the back to the family here. At the same time, this is some kind of the showing off of the affluence of North Korea toward the mass public. So on both front, Kim Jong-un tried to manipulate strategically the heart and mind of political elites as well as public mass.
Right. And Professor Kim Young-jun, speaking of North Korea's state media, a report earlier on Sunday claimed the country had secured, quote, an invincible power that the world cannot ignore and no one can touch, unquote. What is your interpretation of these defiant words by North Korea?
North Korea is now using media very successfully, and now we can expect Kim Jong-un using media to get success done of his strategy, just like Professor Kim Jong already pointed out. So now is the statement of the North Korean media is also his policy continuing. So we need to focus on what Kim Jong-un really want to do and what Kim Jong-un really will do. So from the North Korean media, we expect to see more strategy message, and methodology from the Kim Jong-un regime.
Right, I see. So only time will tell then. All right, Professor Kim Young-jun, thank you very much for your time over there in New Delhi. And Professor Jung Kim here in the studio, thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you very much.